What's up? The fuck was that sound, bro?
Hello, and welcome back to Corks and Controllers. I will be your emotionally unstable CPA. I just really want you to look at your accounts. Joining me today is a cheesy counselor.
Also, emotionally unavailable friend. I don't know. I don't have a good as intro as he does.
It was like a bit I used to do for the old show where I was just like every episode I have a new job title, and I decided to just make a little throwback today.
I need to find a new job title. Maybe I'm the, I don't know, scaremongering scallywag today. That does make sense. I'm a saucy knave today.
Ever since you said hooligans, I was just like, we need to bring back hooligans. I need to call people hooligans more often.
Or absolute malarkey.
Because that's just what they're being, and I'm sick of it. Yes.
What about Shoobies?
Shoobies.
Isn't that from Rocket Power?
Oh man, I haven't watched Rocket Power in so long. I have no idea. I don't remember.
I think it's Shooby, or Shoobies.
Well, Mr. Victor, how are you this week? How are you since last episode?
I need a vitamin C injection and, I don't know, other things. I've been fantastic, if you might ask, but do I make it seem that way? Absolutely not.
Not off camera, that's for sure.
No, exactly. Oh my God, off camera, different story. I have a life.
Little did people know, right before I hit record, Victor's usually rocking in the fetal position in the corner, and I hit, all right, let's go, and he's just like, hello, everybody.
Yep, it's showtime, baby. Let's get this show on the road. Yeah, no, you can't see my makeup right now, but yeah, there's tears behind this.
Let me tell you the difference between high amounts of grape skin contact and low amounts. Okay, let's go.
Exactly, yes. Let's tell you about the phenolic compounds of Cabernet skins.
So,
how are you doing, Mr. Victor?
I am doing fantastic. I was told today, not explicitly in these words, but that my mouth and my teeth continue to be trash. And I gotta fix it. So, I finally.
Oh, you went to the dentist. Oh, that took me a while to get that. I'm like, who insulted you?
You know, out of all my weird behaviors where I know I have problems, I just refuse to get them checked out. I was finally just like, you know what? My tooth is killing me, so that's the only motivator. That's the only motivator I had.
Adulthood.
So
is it a crown replacement or is it a full-on removal?
They got to rip that one open, and then they're just like
a root canal.
and it's always fun when your dentist doctor sits down with you, and they're just like, we have to think long term, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh, that's always the best. That's always the best.
That's how well I take care of myself. And that's how I am.
In pain.
In pain, constantly.
He projects that he's happy, but deep inside he's very pained and very troubled because his tooth hurts.
Usually the people who seem the happiest and making the most jokes, just keep an eye on them.
Yes, check on them. Check on them.
All right, Victor, shall we get into the featured... maybe we'll call, we need a new name now, because I was going to say featured items, but I'm not sure video game's an item. But we do have a featured bottle here.
Yes, we do have a featured bottle. So this particular little bottle, so let me tell you a little history lesson. When it comes to European wines, these guys actually domesticated grapes. Mm-hmm. And then pretty much think of it like this. Pinot Noir at one point used to be a wild wine. And then, I don't know, some people in... what was that, Roman Empire decided like, hey, this is a grape. And then the Roman Empire becomes the Roman Catholic Church, whatever the hell how do I not say a religious word, and whatever the hell they became, okay? The Holy Roman Empire, there you go. So then after that, some good old monks decide like, hey, this wine's doing really good, we should take some cuttings and put it in a field. And then after, I don't know, hundreds of years, they kind of domesticated it. And then out came Pinot Blanc, Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, Pinot Meunier, Pinot Arrois. I'm forgetting like two of them. But yeah, so that's how that happened. And then we go to the wonderful world of Portugal. Portugal is a different animal in the sense that Portugal, I think, has the most amount of indigenous grapes from any country in the world.
Wow.
I don't remember exactly the exact number of how many vines or how many grapes are native to Portugal, but Portugal's been making wine for a long time. Most important, or I guess you could say most importantly, their best and well-known export is something called port wine, aka the boozy sweet wine. That came about because at one point the French and English, like many a times, were squabbling over something I don't know. And the English said, you know what? Screw this. We're going to get our wine from the Portuguese. The Portuguese said, okay, we'll send you wine. And then they were
For
like...
money.
Yes, exactly. They said, we'll send you wine. Then the English get it. They're like, hey, this doesn't taste good. And then the Portuguese figured out, oh, wine doesn't travel very well. You know what they did? They added a shit ton of brandy to it. To ship it over off to England. And turns out that, hey, not only did this wine taste better, it also aged incredibly well. And that is how port wine was created. Now, going back to before the time of port, let's take a, gander back to the year 1729, I believe. A little company that is now known as the Real Companhia Vela, I believe is what it is, that owns this property known as Quinta Das Carvalhas, became a thing. So, since then, these guys have had vineyards that who the hell knows what's planted to it. It's just a whole bunch of indigenous Portuguese grapes. And they're just like, we'll call it a field blend. Call it that, Now, it is reasonable to believe that in this bottle, there are certain grapes like Touriga Nacional, Touriga Franca, Tinta Roriz, Aragones. Let's see, there's also Alicante Boucher. There might be some Lorelo, maybe some Guvejo. I don't know. Because they don't tell you. On the back of the bottle, Mr. Victor, would you like me to read what this wine is made out of?
Sure. Please do. Or do you want me to?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I heard Victor, and who knows which one you're talking about. Okay. I see field blend.
And that's all it tells you. That's literally it.
The only word, and it's in bold. We got field blend. It says 18 months. And I guess this is the pairing notes, game and red meat.
Don't you love how specific they are? They're like, it's a field blend. That's all you got to know.
And I don't know if this is storage or serving temperature, but it says 18 Celsius, 64 Fahrenheit.
Yes, that is the serving and storage temperature.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So with this specific vineyard, this is coming from the Douro region of Portugal, up in the northern portion of the Douro Valley. I think it's actually coming from the Cima Corgo specifically. But so this is a wine that will set you back approximately $50 to $100, depending where you buy it. This is a 2016. Oh, and it's also made from old vines that who the hell knows how old they actually are. Probably about like maybe 150, 200 years. I don't know. Yeah. But so this one I've had in my storage now for about, 5-ish, 6-ish years. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're now in the year of our Lord, 2024. And we are going to open this bottle and see how it's tasting. So yeah.
The second you said 2024, I was like, what? And I remember it's April. Not last year in like fucking October or whatever.
Oh my God, right? It's like we're already... Hard to believe that 7 years ago was 2017.
Yeah, we're like in the years where like every sci-fi movie would probably reference a year like ours being like in the future.
Right.
26, and it's just like, well, that's 2 years? What are you talking about? But it was a movie that came out in the 80s, so that was futuristic to them.
But I will say this, that Quinta Das Carvalhas, I have some beef with you because this bottle weighs like about 2 pounds and is not ergonomically... Can you hear that squeak?
They sure can. Oh, yeah. Yeah, come back to the episode where we're talking about qualities and denseness of wine bottles that producers would choose. They decided to go heavy.
Oh.
They decided to go with a thick boy with 3 C's.
Oh, absolutely thick boy. This is something that if you were to smack it up against like a concrete wall, chances are it's not going to break. Right. That's how heavy this goddamn bottle is.
All right. Let's see that color.
That is just about the same color of the bottle.
Goddamn, girl. Anyways, I'll stop.
Goddamn, girl. Oh, I got some white on mahogany.
Damn, what that body do? Get it?
I feel like Nicole's somewhere laughing at you, just saying, "What the hell is this?"
Now let me see them legs, girl. No. Okay. Once again, I'll stop making wine leg jokes.
So, Mr. Victor, what do you smell?
All right, let's get in here.
Kampai.
It's not even at my nose, and I can smell just how rich that is. Okay, let's see what we got here. We
God.
need details. We need details.
This is...
Oh my God.
This is like a fruit pie.
It's a fruit pie with fucking, dare I say, caramel in it?
There is like absolutely no browning to this.
No, there is not.
Like, this is a full-on dark, translucent bottle of wine that, in a blind tasting, just on appearance, I'd be like, this can't be old.
Can you guys see that against the white background? How deliciously red that is?
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, and it smells like fruit pie, like a whole bunch of them. It smells like, I don't know, plums, blackberries, dried cherries,
All right.
strawberries.
Did we ever think? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Kampai. And Prost. And
Prost.
Salute.
All right.
I think I should take your advice and plop that in the freezer.
It's not bad,
But it's not fantastic.
but it definitely smells way better than
It tastes.
it does on the tongue.
That's so sad. It
Interesting.
You smell all these wonderful things, and then you look at the color, and then you taste it. It tastes like water.
Wow. That's
It's
like
very thin, very flavorless, very limp.
like it smells like you go to a bakery shop with freshly made red fruit pies, and you're just like, "Ooh, I'm never leaving." But when you've been to it, you realize there's a piece of mold on the top.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's being mean, but what I meant to say is expectations versus what
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing. For $5,200, this bottle I would expect a lot more. But again, maybe, just maybe, it's in its stupid close phase. Remember, wine does this.
Yeah, let's just open up.
It might open up, but I would actually be of the opinion you might want to plop that in the freezer.
We're gonna do two experiments here.
Just because
I'm gonna let mine warm up, and then this is gonna go back in the freezer. Refrigerator, freezer.
Freezer. Come on, my good sir.
Oh.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh,
keep
Victor.
going.
Oh my God.
He's my god too. He's not just yours.
All right.
I mean, it's not that much of a difference, is it? No, just kidding. So, quick intermission here. So, while he is plopping that to the freezer, let us continue our education of the Grand Cru's of Burgundy. So, let's start off with the one that I hate the most. So, in the commune or in the village of Gevry-Chambertin, there is, oh Lord, Charmes Chambertin, Chapelle Chambertin, La Tricières Chambertin, Chambertin itself. That is also known as Les Chambertin, and Victor is back. So we shall continue the Chambertins at a later time.
All right. How long are we giving that bad boy?
I would say about 15 minutes at the very minimum.
Perfect. We're going on to our next segment, which is our featured game. It's time for your video game lessons, boys and girls.
Yes, you're going to learn today. I'm going to be learned.
All right, so for today, I brought us a fantastical Nintendo Switch game called Hades. So in Hades, you're the
What kind of devilman crybaby shit is this?
You're the son of Hades, but you don't like your dad or the underworld. So you want to get safe passage up to a fucking, what is it, the Earth world or up to, you want to go to Olympia, whatever it's called.
What the fuck?
And so in order to get out of here, and by the way, you're
Is that your dad right there?
that's Hades right there.
He's back already, Cerberus.
He actually, what's
here,
funny
Father.
is that he actually he's actually aware that you want to leave, and he's like, you can leave if you can survive the fucking game. So
Wait, he can't die. He's already dead, isn't he?
what, me?
No,
Or-
this guy.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing in this game, which is that every time you die, you have to start back over there in the throne room. So that's what just happened. I came back after death, and now I'm here to try to get out.
Now you're fighting your dad's security guards.
No.
Ready as I'll
We're just
ever
gonna
be.
go. All right. For you gamers out there that are trying to roast me, no, I did not get very far in this game. This game is hard to me. And
Really?
you guys might be like, it's not that hard. Chill out.
Arthur's?
I have to tell you something, little
Poseidon.
Hades. My relatives
Poseidon.
and I
What are you gonna tell me,
have been
Poseidon?
holding back one of our greatest gifts to see if you were worthy. And you are. My aid is yours. So call me if you need anything.
So all the gods in
Especially to smash
Olympia
your-
are helping me out, which is why they'll
what's
sometimes give
this?
me buffs or weapons or things like
The
that.
wrath of Poseidon at my beck and call.
So the objective of the game is to go through procedurally generated dungeon rooms to make it to all the way out until you can get Olympia and be free of your father.
So you're really just wrecking your dad's home.
Yeah. So, but the gimmick with that is the game's really hard when you start out because you only really have a sword and like one power move. But every time you collect things through each room, you keep no matter how many times you die, you keep the strength and some of the attributes that you gain. So you're actually getting stronger with every run of trying to escape.
It's like Dragon Ball Z level strength.
Exactly.
Oh wait, no, it's like Jujutsu Kaisen. Itadori gets stronger after every time he fights, no?
Sure does. Not ready. Although. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a run here. And let's see how far I can get.
Oh, is this where it gets hard?
Yeah. Again,
Wait, why does that guy keep coming back? That you killed him? Ooh.
Oh, I'm trying to spikes. Oh, okay. See, I told you guys I was bad at this. Okay.
Oh, you passed the level.
But as people can tell, I'm also don't remember the buttons very well. Okay, so I don't remember there's ever any more collectibles in rooms after you. I guess not. We'll keep this going. Next room.
Oh, there's two of those big boys. Ooh.
Yeah, this game's very fast paced.
So on a scale of 1 to Diablo 4, where does this rank?
I would say things like Diablo 4 are inherently harder because it will start you off like easy, you know, introduce the mechanics and all this stuff. This is one of those games where, God, I'm sorry gamers, I forgot the difference between these two icons. I'm just gonna go with this. Where as you get stronger, the enemies and areas around you get stronger as well. So like it gets progressively tougher, but because you're learning more about the mechanics of the game, the more you can like, you know, take care of yourself. This is one of those games that decided to do the kind of the opposite premise, where it's just like it is very hard in the beginning, but the more attempts you do, like I said, you keep your attributes, keep some magics and weapons and stuff. The more you become very comfortable with what your abilities are and what you're able to do, and they actually get easier, but easier does not necessarily mean the game gets simpler and that you're Mr. Big Shot. It's still hard, but because you're more aware of things and you're just stronger, it becomes more fun. It becomes a power fantasy and stuff.
Oh, this bitch is back?
Oh yeah. It's just an enemy type, so you just whoop them until they're all gone. I'm not using any of my other abilities either, so let's see what the...
Why don't you call Poseidon?
Yeah, I'm trying to... I legitimately need to figure out what the button does. Oh god. Oh, I need this back. Yeah, gamers, I don't know the buttons. It's been a while since I played this one. Alright, come here.
Ooh, you got a fancy heart.
Okay, that was max life. Cool.
What does that mean?
That means my health bar is bigger. Let's see. That looks cool, I guess.
And this is how you play a game. You're just like, oh, that looks cool.
That's how I play games. Whatever's cool.
Oh, these motherfuckers a little bigger.
Oh god.
Ooh. Some spicy boys. They're moving faster too.
I'm not sure if that. Come on. Oh god.
Oh lord.
Okay, so that's a trap. Come on, get out of there.
So you gotta shoot them somehow?
I have to not step on that one on the middle, that square. Or else, oh my god, okay. I'm screwed. I'm dying. Oh, come on. Come on, fight me. Just die. Just die.
Oh, you got some more of them.
Don't want to step on the buttons. Oh lord. And then the dodge button too late. I need to get rid of these projectile guys. Why you guys stay in the middle for? Oh my god. They don't get stunned by my hits, so they're able to shoot projectiles at me while I'm attacking them. Not good. Oh, why don't I use my power attack? Okay, let's try that. Oh, did I just... I didn't know I could dash over gaps. Come here. Okay.
Barely got through.
Okay, I got some keys. I think that lets me buy or open chests. Alright. Well, 2 health. Let's see how this goes.
Ooh, my god, I am shivering in my boots.
I'll gain that health. I think you don't.
Oh, that's the gimmick, is you gotta see how far you can make with the same health.
Yeah. I'm sure there's opportunities to hill, like maybe boss battles or secret rooms, but we'll see. I don't recall. This is so bad. Oh my god. How am I living?
There it is.
Death to 5. Ooh, nice. I didn't know I had that ability.
Oh wait, you just got more energy.
Yeah, apparently I have a second chance ability. Oh god, and I immediately screwed it over by getting hit twice in the same succession. Oh, stop it. Okay. I hate projectile people. Big fatties are easy to manage, but projectile people, they'll always be the bane of my existence in every video game.
You've met the master of
Athena.
the seas, Poseidon, haven't you? Our uncle's affable but quick to anger.
Our
Be on
uncle?
your guard with
Ew,
him
what
is
kind
my
of
advice.
inbred shit is this?
You know how Olympia is. Alright, so just give me a buff. Which one do I choose? Let's see. Well, I can get more health, but let's do... Ooh, dashing can deflect. I like that. I like the sound of that.
Your wisdom guide me.
Alright. Ooh.
I can still fight.
Are you surprised
barely.
you made it this far?
I'm surprised I'm
You
doing
and me.
Oh, what
this
the
bad
fuck?
because I tried to practice last night a little bit, but I fell asleep.
That's a reasonable... Oh, you're about to die.
Yeah, I think this is the mini boss fight. Which is the excuse I'm using in case I die right now. I'll be in a second. Oh god. Bombs! Oh my god, what are you guys doing to me? Gosh. I'm not sure how I killed that guy. Oh. I feel like everything exploded and all of a sudden it's gone, like not even a corpse. I'm like, what is that noise? It's my controller weapon. Oh wow.
How'd you do that on 3?
On 3 health, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I am maybe I'm still a gamer.
What's rare versus epic?
Epic is there's levels of magics that are strength and how rare they are to get. So something that's epic is something that's just generally better than anything that's rare.
What are the percentages there?
That is 90% reduced damage from traps, which I actually would love. I'm going to keep
The
that.
shield of light.
The shield of light. God, I wish this was like Zelda where I break something and there's health in it. All right.
Ooh! I can feel my blood pressure spiking.
Got a regular room here.
Oh, you got 3 more lives.
This guy. Oh,
There is no
after
escape.
all that.
The dead man has died.
After all that effort, I got killed by a common enemy. That's how it goes.
Oh, he was a big old Casper.
I can't get used to that.
You can't get used to killing.
Hey, where's
You killed.
Hypnos?
Dad.
I can scarce believe my eyes. Is that you, boy? Cerberus, look who it is. He's back.
He's roasting me.
Cerberus looks mournfully toward the prince.
No need to drag the dog into this, father.
Anything you say to me, you say in front of Cerberus. You might even learn a thing or two from him of listening and of obedience.
My father wants me to stay put here in the underworld. This is my
You can't pet these dogs?
How's my favorite boy doing, huh?
give that dog a pet.
Oh.
Pet the other head too. Come on. Favoritism.
And that is what she said.
Favoritism. What is this? What is this? I don't remember this.
Urns of wealth.
Okay. That's cool. Where's my total? My total is... Oh, I have 10 of those, 30 of them. No, I can't afford anything. Okay.
Not even in your father's house.
Nyx, sometimes I get the impression the Olympians look down on those of us born of the underworld. Is that my imagination, or what do you make of it?
What the fuck is
The
Nyx?
gods of Mount Olympus tend to think themselves above
Knight
us,
incarnate?
child. Or so your father often likes to say. He alone was relegated to this realm and grew resentful of his relatives on high.
I can't imagine him otherwise.
Sorry, everyone. I'll keep my opinions to myself. Here's where you can like rest and save and like upgrade stuff. Let's see if I can upgrade anything. Shadow presence, deal bonus damage and special damage when striking foes behind. Oh, cool. Boiling blood, deal bonus damage. Sure, I'll do that one.
I feel like this would be a good game to play like during Halloween.
Oh, these unlock talents. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I
like
can
the
unlock even
necessary
more
keys.
stats to buy.
Excellent.
And
Is that his treasure chest?
okay, I thought that did something. I guess not.
What about the bed?
The bed lets you rest.
It is the dead of night, or the approximation of it in the realm of Hades. Prince of the underworld, Zagreus rises from a fitful slumber, with much mischief on his mind.
Now, Mr. Victor, I know we don't
Mischief
pair our
me?
featured
I
items,
was just
but
going to have a little look through
what
father's stuff.
do you think?
All is
What do you
quiet
think
at this time.
drink is making you
Ever
feel this
dreamy
game?
Hypnos put a spell upon
Honestly,
the house,
I am gonna
as willful
say,
Zagreus had asked of him.
Again, this gives me
what you're voicing
Halloween
over, I'm
vibes,
trying to
and
be
Elysian
sneaky
makes
here.
a really good pumpkin beer that I don't know what it's
Mythology does
called,
have its limitations.
but it has like a scary jack-o'-lantern on it that reminds me of this. Now, if I wanted to be more intellectual, I think that this reminds me of the olden vampire days, and at that point, I would have to go with a good old
He
nutty
ventures toward the
Amontillado
stately
sherry,
throne of his lord.
I
the
said,
drink
shut
of
up,
choice
old
of
man.
Mr. Hannibal himself.
He does not know exactly what he seeks.
No, not Hannibal, like
He only
Chianti.
knows
It
that
was
something
Chianti and fava
always has
beans.
felt.
I'm not listening.
He rifles
I'm gonna be
through his
honest, I don't know what's happening.
I think you're having a flashback when your father
There
disappointed
is the
you.
note. Written finally in a hand and voice the likes of which the prince had never seen or heard.
Hades, I can no longer tolerate my life here in this place. So I'm leaving, even if it kills me. I won't be returning to Olympus. If there is a place where I belong in this world, it must be somewhere between heaven and hell. Perhaps it's on the coast and has a little garden. Take care of Cerberus. I shall miss him. Persephone.
Oh, she's talking about the
Thus
dog.
did Prince of the Underworld Zagreus absorb the contents of this hidden letter, written in his mother's hand.
Oh, my mom's got them.
Mother's
That's right.
My
I
mother's
never know.
hand.
I'm
Wait,
trying to
what?
follow my mother.
You're saying this Persephone, that she's my mother? But father always said that Nyx was.
Oh, you didn't know that? I would have sworn that was a major plot point.
He lied to me. They both did. All my life.
Thus did the prince discover inadvertently the well-kept
narrator's like,
Entirely by chance, this did occur.
The narrator's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to spoil it. Fuck. That's hilarious. Well, I was gonna do one more run, but how long is this flashback?
Of all the underworld. Where had she gone? And why? Engulfed by newfound questions and his rage, the prince decided to confront his lord and master.
The fuck is his lord and master? Is that Hades himself?
You're... Nyx, you're not my mother. All this time, you and my father, you lied to me?
Oh, my dear child. So now you know. So now you know. But only half the truth. I can
Oh, so
explain
now
the
it's not
rest
creepy that I said hot earlier?
Please. It never was my wish to hurt you.
Damn, dog. I went to bed and learned more about the dark past. Usually I go to bed to ignore my dark past.
Right, not to indulge in it. That was some creepy shit.
Miss Victor, should we call it a day?
I think we should call it a day on this one.
All right. So that was Hades. That was
When did this game come out?
this game came out forever ago. I'm gonna say 2019. Oh boy. Whoa. This game came out, Mr. Victor, on the ripe, bold year
Of our Lord.
Our Lord. 2027. No, I'm just kidding. 2020. It came out in 2020.
Oh, it was COVID. It was a COVID game.
It's a COVID game, yeah. What's the specific date? That's weird. This release date says 2018, actually. Was it re-released in 2020?
Catavanti Suite?
Oh, it was an early access game which you can play on PC in 2018, but it didn't fully come out until 2020. So very interesting. So yeah, so that's Hades. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you at home enjoyed.
That game looks fun, but I'd get my ass beat and I'd have nightmares.
I was just thinking, I was like, maybe I should hand you the controller, but
No. We don't want to witness that live.
okay.
Because you know what? Let's do it. Fuck it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's show our lovely and faithful viewers how bad I am at these games.
Very nice. Okay.
Because it is only by watching an imbecile that you will learn how to not be an imbecile. Sometimes I have to wonder, man, what's going on through your head? I mean, I know you hear me and others, but it's so damn dark down there. I can't hear you at all. What do I do now?
Give me 1 second. I think the laptop died.
Uh-oh. And the TV just died too. Are we back?
And we're back.
Oh, well, you look at that.
Please don't crash again. This is supposed to be counting. Just says 0.
Maybe this is a sign from the Lord above that maybe I should not be playing video games.
There we go. We've teased you guys.
Exactly.
You thought Victor's about to play a video game, but you're just gonna have to wait.
You have to pay per view for that one there.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
want to watch me play games? Send me some money. I'll play all the games for you.
Ko-fi.com.
Ko-fi.com/Corks and Controllers.
Right, well, let's see if our friend in the fridge
Oh, yes. I forgot about our friend in the fridge.
has done anything for us.
Today's such a chaotic show, and I love it. I could tell Victor's probably over though. He's like, what the fuck? So while Victor grabs those, now let's cover the Grand Cruise of... What else do we got? We got Maurice Saint-Denis. We got Chambon-Monsigny. We got Von Romani. We got Gevry-Chambertin. Why do I feel like... Ooh, Claude de Vougeot. I mean, Vougeot's an easy one because it's pretty much Claude de Vougeot. And that's it. So let us crack open this big fella here.
For those on the audio or may have forgotten, we're revisiting our friend here. Our featured bottle of the show is because the taste wasn't quite there. So Victor's hoping a little time in the freezer will help it open up. Give us its delicious fruits.
The fruits. Come on, Dionysus, don't be a bitch here.
Yeah. Yeah, Dionysus, be a bro
Help a brother
and
out
give
here.
us this bottle's full potential.
You want to finish your wine, my good sir?
Um,
Victor's the one that doesn't have to drive, so I usually pawn off my drinks to him. And this isn't the first time or the last time that's happened.
Do me a favor, at least. I'll tell you. At least put like a big like chug like thing over.
Oh,
Make
yes.
it fun.
Das Boot. Das Boot. Das Boot.
Let's make it fun for the audience. God damn.
Yes, how many drinks can Victor drink if Victor could not, in fact, drink drinks? I felt that one to the nave of my chinny chin chin.
Disclaimer: don't binge drink. Don't drink very often, and also please drink when you're over the age of 21. I don't know what the other ages are in the other countries, but 21 generally probably a good start, huh?
I think we got a Slytherin in there.
A Slytherin?
You see the darkness?
Yeah. What does that mean?
I don't know. I think Dionysus is up to something here.
All right. Hopefully in a way that Mr. Victor approves.
So, Kanpai
Kanpai.
to chaos.
The chaos. Dare I say the nose got a bit stunted in the process.
Yeah, nose got stunted and the flavor has not improved. I want to be of the opinion that this wine is going through its little sleeping / shutdown / closed phase. Because a wine this expensive at this age, from this region, from this winery, should not be doing this.
Gotcha. Okay.
So who knows? Maybe I pulled it out of the cellar or my storage because I don't have a cellar. Maybe too soon. Maybe I should have waited, I don't know, 20 more years. I don't fucking know.
So out of the varietals that can take a beating and be like, bitch, I'm still here, like you said, like ports and some Rieslings. Is this guy's not one of them?
It should be. So that one, so the field blend in this should be a majority of Touriga Nacional. And Touriga Nacional is pretty much Portugal's version of Tannat / Cabernet Sauvignon. Mm-hmm. Touriga Nacional is a wine that has the darkest of the darks as far as color goes. Mm-hmm. It has a crazy anthocyanin level. It has a lot of acidity. It has a lot of tannin. So in theory, it should be ageable. What happened here? I'm befuddled. I am perturbed. I don't know what happened.
It happens, folks.
You buy an expensive wine and you're like, what the fuck? It's just, this is it.
Now, for those, the listeners and watchers who stuck with us, they know. But just in case, is that reason to deter people who like to collect wines, or are you just saying it just happens?
So people that want to collect wines, I have one bit of advice for you. Read as much as you can from the Oxford Companion to Wine before you start investing giant chunks of money into wine. Because what you like right now and you think will be age-worthy will probably not be your opinion in 5 years. And if you go ahead and splurge, I don't know, a couple $1,000s on cases of wine that you really liked right now, in 5 years, you might be like, what the fuck was I thinking?
That's literally like almost a complete straight analog to how I am with games. Because what I mean when I say like I research my games before I buy them is I'm not looking for like high review scores from like critics and stuff like that. I'm thinking, is this going to be a game that I want to beat all the way through, or is it only fun like in the middle?
Exactly. So like case purchases are a good example. So people that want to age their wine / collect them, it's always recommended you buy a case of it so you can taste the bottle like every 2, 3, 4 years for a while. But like say you buy a case of this. Yeah. If you are a fan of Napa Valley Cabernet or French Burgundy, this is not up your alley. You need to know what a Portuguese red wine tastes like, how they age, what's the history behind them, what the grape is supposed to do. That way you can kind of be like, okay, this might be in a closed phase. This is past its prime. I don't think this is past its prime. I think it's in a closed phase because there's no breaking of the orange in there. It still has acid. It still has a little bit of tannin. The concentration is still there. But yes, before you go about collecting anything, holla at your boy, at your boys.
Holla at your boys,
We
man.
got some knowledge that we can easily share with you.
Not only do we have a comment section, we have an email.
Yes, we do. Now, before I conclude on that little tidbit, though, I will say this. If you are in doubt, just buy German Riesling over $20, and you will probably be fine. I would say you're about 99% fine.
Victor is German Riesling propaganda walking.
I am that in Beaujolais, bro. Seriously, Riesling and Beaujolais, party for the people.
Very good. All right, Mr. Victor.
Oh my God, you have Godzilla on your shirt.
Thank you.
You just there's a wine meme page that has Godzilla with the wine glass. I need to get you little wine glass stickers. You just put it on there.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt you yet again.
Well, now you're making me think, like, out of all the graphic tees I own, I should have something that's wine or alcohol related. I was like, I've been in the industry for so long. Well, not as long as you, but long enough.
It makes you feel good. I don't have any piece of wine t-shirts.
You're a polo guy. It's fine.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go back to your original analogy before I get distracted again.
My original thought was, I'm having a lot of fun. We're having technical difficulties. We're having wine difficulties, and it's making the show go a little long. But despite the fun, we should hurry along and go with the meat of the show, which is our pairings for the episode.
Do we want to keep with the theme?
Keep the theme.
You give me one of your most difficult video games, and I'll give you one of my most difficult wines. And not necessarily pairing them, but just telling the viewers,
okay,
hey, this is such a shit day. Not shit day, just a difficult day. What would be the video game or wine that if you were to be playing right now, you'd just be like, you know what? I'm out of here. Fuck this. I'm going to sleep. Do we want to do that, Mr. Victor?
Let's do it. All right. Let me go first since I have it straight in the noggin. I don't know if we've talked about this before. Have we talked about a video game called Elden Ring?
We've talked about it, but I don't think that we've ever actually talked about it.
Oh.
And the reason I say that is because our beloved R-Name from our previous job, I remember he would be trying to tell me things about this, and I'd be like, oh yeah, Elden Ring or Elden Scrolls, and he's like, they're not the same thing.
What's funny is people will compare it to a Skyrim game because it's the most open From Software game there's ever been in terms of, just going any part of the map that you want. So, Elden Ring, From Software, I think also released in 2020, definitely during pandemic times, so probably 2021, 2022. It is just as it sounds, it's a Soulborn game, meaning that it is a third-person action game that is very high on the action, very high on the fantasy, and very high on brutally disgusting creatures trying to kill you at every moment in time. But the big gimmick from this, as people who are aware of From Software games, is that this one is open world. You can go wherever you want, tackle the monsters and situations in any way you want, and gain power from there. Somewhat like Hades, it's mostly starting off very hard because you have very basic tools. Well, not like Hades, but other games. You're starting off with very basic tools, but the enemies around you, they're kind of basic. But if you venture too far, when you still have basic things, you're going to get demolished. So you want to carefully scout and work through the area around you to find weapons, to find armor, to find the souls, the spirits, the Eldens, the rings, enough to level you up, get stronger, and then venture more out. And eventually you just become a badass who literally, just like Zeus, would like fucking create lightning in your hand and fucking throw it at those motherfuckers. And then you have a great ass time. So with games like that, I've always been very bullish. I've always been like, I'm not that kind of gamer. I'm not a Twitch reaction kind of gamer. I don't have very fast response. Like the stereotype of gamers is like, oh, you play games all day, so maybe your hand-eye coordination is really high. Not for me. I play games for narratives. I play them for power fantasies. I play them to have a relaxing time. I'm not like edge of my seat, crouch forward, ruining my posture more than
you're not that meme.
Being just like I'm not that kind of gamer. That's why I also don't like fighting games, because there's
arthritis in like 30 years.
Yeah, right. And so I've always avoided those games despite my good friends being just like, this is the game to buy. Okay, I know you don't like From Software games, but this is the one to buy because it's easier. And I'm just like, what do you mean it's easy? Like easy for a From Software game or easy in general? It's just like, no, yeah, like this game has like parrying instead of dodging, so it's like easier. And months later, again, I research my games very heavily. Months later, I would go, fine, I'll buy it because it's on sale. Instead of $50, it's like, I don't know, like 25. Okay, fine. Nice price point. I'll buy it. 2 hours in, I'd shut the game off and I never revisit it. That's how From Software games always go. This one, not only was it my friends, but it was the trailers promising me that because it's open world and because you can go on your own pace, that you will find your pace and you will like just keep the difficulty in a way the way you want until you're ready to venture out more. And I was just like, that sounds cool. I was also convinced in the trailer because in the trailer you get really cool powers. Like I mentioned, you can throw lightning. There's the one power where it's like you like summon a light sword and he's just like whoosh, and it extends like 30 feet wingspan and you just spin it like crazy and you kill everyone in sight. And it's like a huge crowd of like 30 enemies and you just destroy them in like one foul swoop. And it's just like, then now that's a power fantasy. I want that game. I buy it. My God. At first it was great. But after a while, I'm just like, these enemies are whooping me up and down the block. I'm just like, oh, I can't stand it. That's not what a power fantasy is. I don't want to keep dying and like having to backtrack just to get my souls back or whatever it is in that game and like, you know, and then go back to my memory. Like, what kind of mechanic is that, by the way? Okay. This has been an opinion of From Software games from the very beginning. And I'm just repeating what everyone else has said. And there's great arguments against it, but I'll start it again. How is it a good mechanic to get your ass whooped and be asked by the game to be like, hey, you know that place where you just got demolished? Like you stand zero chance? In order to get your progress back, your souls, you gotta go back over there, grab it, and then survive.
Oh.
Either by fighting them again or maybe like running away. That's not a good mechanic. That makes me angry. That makes me... I don't want to lose progress, so I have to go back over there. Anyways, okay. So, Mr. Victor, do you have a beverage for a game that, despite you loving what you're seeing, it's just innately just not for you?
Oh boy, do I have more than enough of those. But I actually have one that is near and dear to me because it betrayed me so well. So my
betrayed me so well. What is that?
Yes. So this particular wine has been praised by critics left and right. As in, when the first scores came out, even I was like, "Whoa, this is a shitty year. How the hell do they make that much great of a wine?" You know. So we get this wine in and it's flying like hotcakes. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And so sure enough, it's like the price is like about 40% lower than what it usually is. They're like, you know, for what it was, you know, for its conditions, it was actually a good wine. And at first I'm like, Hogglespock or whatever the fuck it's called, pigworts or shit, you know. I was like, this is bullshit. I don't believe this. And then my favorite clients start coming in and they're like, have you had that wine? It's really, really good. It's not fantastic, but it's really, really good. And I'm like, I know what you like, and you like really nice wines. You're saying to you, this is actually not bad, and I can actually kind of afford this. Yeah. And when I say kind of can't afford this, I mean $120 a goddamn bottle. So I was all like, this producer, you know, they have a track record of making great wine in great years. They are 100-pointers left and right, you know, like deemed perfect wines. And so I do my due diligence on Cellar Tracker, and I'm like, the reviews actually aren't bad. I'm all like, right. This is promising. So then I check out my favorite website, and I see, you know, what's good there. Sure, it turns out, hey, same thing, positive reviews. And I'm like, but it's $120, you know, I don't really feel like dropping that. And this is where it gets real fun. So I was teaching a wine class, and I wasn't able to open up that exact year, but a worse year.
Okay.
So I was able to open up, it was either a 2006 or 2011. I can't remember exactly.
You put out a filler.
I put out a feeler, yes, and I taught it in a class. And I'm like, this is a really bad year. So left and right, everyone fucking loved it. And I tasted it myself, and I'm like, damn, this is actually not bad.
This is a bad year.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to buy this 2012 Valdicava Brunello di Montalcino. That is the name of the wine. Sweet little cherubim angel on the white label that just says Valdicava, you know. Words cannot begin to describe the betrayal. So I did everything right. I got the wine home and I let it rest because even though it was only a 45-minute drive back home, I was all like, no, the perturbance, of like the vibrations and shit, that might actually affect the taste of the wine. Because back then, and I mean, still now, $120 is a lot of money, bro. It's like for one bottle of wine that is technically maybe a bottle of water and a quarter of liquid, for $120, that's a lot of money. Yeah, this bottle's just big as fuck, but it's technically a little bit of liquid. 24 ounces to be specific. I think there's more in a Gatorade bottle than it actually is in the bottle of wine. So I let the wine rest at home for like about 4 to 6 weeks. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to look at this producer's website, see what the accepted food pairing is. I think I found like some truffle pasta and I'm like, okay, easy enough to make, just going to spend a little bit of money, but it should be fine. And after that, I look at, again, the producer's website, look at the decanting recommendations, what temperature to serve it at. And I'm like, okay, mind you, I was not going in expecting to have my mind blown. I was not. I was like, this is from a really, bad year in Montalcino. It's not a fantastic year.
All these preparations make me anxious because I feel it.
Yeah, I mean, it was an expensive bottle. So I'm like, I need to make sure I do this wine right, So then I decanted it for its suggested, I think it was like 2.5 hours. And I even put some in a glass just to see how that would do. So I give it a sniff. I don't smell shit. And then I give it a taste and it's like, this 2.0. There are some flavors of like cherries and vanilla, and chocolate, but the texture was very thin. The alcohol was very, very high. It had this really, I don't know, like dirty pony kind of scent to it that it's not really Brettanomyces. It's not volatile acidity. It's not a flaw. The wine was not flawed. And I'm like, this is fine. Maybe it just needs to open up a little bit more. Maybe the temperature is a little cold. Maybe it's a little bit too warm. I don't know. But let's just, wait a little longer.
What was it called again?
Valdicava, Valdicava, Brunello di Montalcino, 2012. And so I eat my pasta, and the wine doesn't taste that great with the pasta. I'm like, okay, this is, just like, I don't know, like whatever. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, this is disappointing. And so then I think it was like another 45 minutes before I poured another glass, and it didn't really open up. And I'm like, okay, this isn't one to age for a long time.
I like how... Sorry, I just like how one of the more recent reviews, the beginning sentence of the review is going off memory.
Yeah, I mean, because again, it's like I'm pretty sure they might. So that's one of my favorite websites to use, a Cellar Tracker, to see how the tasting is. And again, a 91.8 on Cellar Tracker is a very, very good score. But so it's like I'm drinking my second glass and I'm like, this is okay, but it's nothing to brag about.
Yeah.
And I finished that glass, and at that point I'm like, where did I go wrong? Like, I did everything right. Like, I did my research. What's going on here? And then it was like maybe about 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, I'll have one more glass, and then I'll save the rest for tomorrow. Same shit. Limpid, not very fragrant. And I'm like, okay, my guy, like, what the fuck? And so then next day, I wake up in the morning, I run at the bottle, give it a sniff, same shit, doesn't smell like anything. And then when I get back from work, I open up, or I pour myself another glass, and I'm like, man, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted. Let's just say that bottle of wine ruined not one day, but two.
Clearly.
And it is one of the most sour memories I have, because it's like, I trusted it. I trusted everyone involved in this goddamn bottle of wine. I believed in it. And I wasn't expecting fireworks. But damn it, I didn't even fucking get a fucking firework YouTube show out of this. It was just like, this is bullshit. So that's my official pairing for that.
Very, very good. Very good. I love it. It triggered a memory for me where, there are games where highly anticipated. Now, unlike your story, this is not going to end bad. This ends very well. But I know that prep. I know buying a game I've been highly anticipating all year. I read the previews, I read the reviews, and I read the impressions, everything, and I'm just like, okay. I try not to read too much because for things I'm really looking forward to, I was just like, no, I want my own opinion. I don't want to go into it thinking about someone else's opinion. Here we go. And like, I would wait for a day like I would buy it, it'll be on my shelf for like 4 or 5 days because I'm waiting for my day off. And like I'll sit down, I don't do it intentionally, but I'll wait for a day where like Nicole's just be like, I'm at work or I'm going to be too busy doing something. And I was like, awesome. I don't have to work on my relationship today. and I'll immediately, unless I'm really, really, really excited, I'll immediately wait until like the lights are kind of lower because like, you know, you can get a very nice picture out of your TV. And this is being very nerdy. You can wait for a nice picture out of your TV when your environment itself is darker and the pixels, the lights from your TV are nice and bright and vivid and perceived saturation, nice color. Ooh, I bought a surround sound because I enjoy noise too, or good soundscape too. So like everything's just perfect. And I'm just like, oh. And unlike Victor's story, I press start, the game starts, and I'm just like, perfect.
Oh, I'm jealous.
If at any point during that game where it's just like flat, dull, just completely like getting nothing out of it, I'll be like, but I did my research. It's been a very long time since I've did my research and didn't pan out well. Maybe something like a Street Fighter or that one game I've been talking about on the previous episode, the Tony Hawk game.
Oh, yes.
Where I was just like, but that was just a matter of there was a more powerful console that had that game's potential, but I was playing on a lesser console that couldn't do that.
You know, maybe what it was just an off bottle. Sometimes, you know, single bottles are just not reflective of whatever it is. And maybe I just, you know, got the unlucky bottle. Or maybe, you know.
Maybe.
You know, or again, maybe I go back to, you know, myself. I'm like, maybe I didn't serve it, you know, cold enough, or maybe I didn't let it decant long enough, or maybe I decanted it too long. I don't know. It's all in the past, has been now. Do I like Valdicava? Yeah.
Have you tried another one since?
I have, and it's like in the great years, they're great, but I have never bought another bad year one. I'm burned on those.
Is it more of a matter of like, oh, this bottle's being served? Great. Now I don't have to buy it.
I mean, no, even then, I don't really go seeking out like crappy years of Valdicava. I'm like, no, and you guys sour to that one. I mean, if it's a great year, I will, because I'm like, okay, how do you fuck up a good year harvest, you know?
I gotta say, Victor, maybe I should say this off air, but that thing you're inviting me to, I kind of regret it.
You should have gone. I tried. I'm like, oh my God, did I say that on the show?
I'm just so worried about, you didn't say it on the show, but I
invited this man to a professional tasting at a high-end former clients of mine's house, you know.
You said the word high-end. My worry was that I would be out of place.
Like I told him over the phone that same day, Mr. Victor happens to manage a wine department of a very, you know, elite high-end clientele himself, you know.
Again, you're saying the word high-end, and they're like, oh, this guy buys wines. And people would like try to like chat me up, and I have no answers. I would give them nothing.
Yeah, that's why you say you have underlings that do the hard work for you.
Next time you invite me, I'll say yes, no matter the situation.
Because it's like that was a 13-course wine dinner with wines across the board.
One that you did not invite me, but you were there. I heavily enjoyed it. So I should have just remembered that time.
When was that one?
The one where, I don't know if you need to cut this out, Octavio, but was hosting.
Oh, yeah, that was a winemaker dinner.
Yeah, we had that excellent dinner.
Oh, with our ex-boss. Who brought his own lunch or his own dinner.
That's right, because he has allergies or some specific diet. Yeah.
It's like, how do you pay $120 to go eat there and then you don't even eat the food? You're just there to drink the wine.
That was one of my surprise Pikachu face things where it's just like, I was like, I can't believe this is all free. And then someone, I don't know if it was you or the boss, but they're just like, oh no, this dinner was 120. We just, you know, did our thing because we work.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh God, I could have paid that much.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember that some of the dishes were like very sloppily presented. I can't remember what it was that looked like they just splattered the sauce on the plate.
Is that not a thing where you hit the spoon with the sauce and go? Psst?
Yeah, but that I don't like that presentation. I'm like, come on, man, just serve it to me in a little fucking metal, little tin or some shit. I'll eat the sauce from there.
Anyways, enough of the dark underground that is wine dinners.
Yeah, so that's my official pairing for you, Mr. Victor.
Thank you, Mr. Victor. Now, would you like to give me a beverage? So I can painstakingly compare that.
I'm trying to think what would be. Let's go to the dark times. Let's go to the
beverages. on hard mode.
Let's talk about one of the most disappointing bottles of wine I ever had. So, let's set the stage. I am at a high-end restaurant, right? This is at the peak of our former days there, so I'm like semi-rolling in dough. I'm like, life is good. Let me buy this expensive-ass bottle of wine, you know? So, I decide to take this bottle of wine to a restaurant. And it was an Italian restaurant, and I had some of my bestest friends with me.
Is the corking free real?
It is real.
Okay, just making sure.
It is real. Typically, the nicer the wine list, the more expensive the corking fee.
Oh, you assholes.
Yeah, typically that's how it works. So we go.
I just want to give my friends a present. Jesus.
Right.
Come on,
it's like,
guys.
why are you going to charge me for that, you know? So we go to this nice restaurant. This restaurant's known for their Italian food. So I'm like, okay, Italian wine fitting very well, very well. So then we sit at the restaurant and I'm like, okay, this wine is already technically aged. It's ready to go. According to the website, according to Cellar Tracker, everything is ready to go. The gimmick here is that this bottle of wine was $289 a bottle. Yes. At that point, I'm like, it's my friends. We're going to a nice dinner. I shall splurge. This was, mind you, like 7-8 years ago. Damn. That long ago. No, maybe 5 to 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. So then I present the wine to the sommelier, and he's like, ooh. And this is where the name Gaja Conteisa 2011 is the wine. So Gaja is spelled Gaja. Are you typing? Mm-hmm. And then it is...
Oh, I'm not.
I was all like...
Good call.
I'm like, I don't see any like highlighting there. It is the Conteisa, so it is Conte, and it should pop up there. Gaja Conteisa, and it's the 2011.
Oh, that was 21. Yeah. Okay.
What's the average price on that by now?
On wine.com or something somewhere else.
Wine Searcher.
Do searcher. All right. Oh,
Oh, someone was able to buy it cheaper? Oh, I'm upset. So the average price now is
cheaper to you?
Yeah, I paid $289. So the average price right now on Wine Searcher is $258. So I give this bottle of wine to the sommelier. He's like, "Oh, a Gaja," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, it's my friends, you know, job is going good, and just want to, you know, enjoy it." He's like, "Oh, this should be fantastic," and I'm like, "I know, I've read the reviews, you know." So he pops open the wine and he pours me a sample. And all I'm doing at that point is just sniffing, you know, for any defects or faults. So I'm like, okay, I don't smell any, you know, mouse shit. I don't smell any fucking wet dog. I don't smell any cardboard. So, you know, it's fantastic. And then I take a sip of the wine and I'm like, this is rather bland. And he's all like, would you like me to decant it or do you want me to just serve it? And I'm like, have a taste and tell me what you think. He tastes it. He's all like, I think this could use some, you know, decanting. And I'm like, okay, give it a decanting, you know. So then I wait about 15 minutes, you know, before, and he's like, okay, the wine should be tasting fine now. Let's pour you a sample. And pours it, and I'm like, I get the faintest whiff of, like, strawberries, and I mean, like, the faintest whiff, like, again, imagine the flavor of a fucking LaCroix. That's what I tasted.
I hate LaCroix.
I know. I want flavor, damn it. I take a sip, and I'm like, this is really bland. And at this point, I'm mildly panicking. I'm like, I have some of my bestest friends with me at a high-end restaurant, and the worst case scenario for a wine person is the wine you brag about does not show up. So, at this point, the appetizers come out, and the sommelier pours everyone a sample.
By the way, you want to talk?
Oh, yes. There we go. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes. Alrighty. So, sommelier pours everyone their sample and or their little portion, and I just know they're like, "Oh, this wine is good," and in my head, I'm like, it's not. I know it's not. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. And at this point, I have like cold sweat going down my head. I'm like, this is the most embarrassing day of my life. Or, you know, one of the most embarrassing days of my life. Because 1, because I'm disappointing my friends. 2, because I actually bought this piece of shit. 3, because I believed it was actually going to taste good.
You're like looking around being like, someone's going to fucking call me out any second.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, here goes my reputation. You know, thank God this wasn't in front of high-end clients. Oh my God, it's even worse. But anywho, so then dinner progresses. You know, we get the entrees. I order the famous corn arancini. And then I get the short rib ragu, which is the restaurant's, you know, fine thing. And food is tasting great. The wine is not getting any better.
Damn it.
And I'm just like, motherfucker. And then at that point, the Som comes by and he's like, how's the wine? And I'm like, you want a sample? All it took was for him to take a sip. And then he's just like, that's all he did. And I looked at him and I'm like, I know. And he's like, it's not flawed. And I'm like, I know. And he's all like, yeah, I don't know. And dessert came. We chugged our wine. And we went home and I was depressed.
I thought about that shit all night.
Since that day, I have never purchased another Gaia. And I don't plan to. I want you to do me a favor and just Google Gaia San Lorenzo.
Yeah.
And just for the hell of it, type in San Lorenzo 2013.
Renzo 2013.
And tell me what the average price is for that. And if you can find a wine searcher, click on wine searcher.
Oh my god, there's seller tracker. You fucking assholes, you better fucking wine searcher.
I know, Victor's feeling the buzzies.
Shit me sideways. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
San Lorenzo, right?
Well, it says guy is sorry.
Yep. Sorry,
Okay.
San Lorenzo.
Okay. That
So-
seem right to you?
Yep. Average price $5.21. I remember I wanted to buy that bottle. I really did. So I really wanted to buy that bottle of wine, but I ended up saying, no, Gaia betrayed me. You know, in a wine buyer's life, few things burn you or burn into your head more than an expensive, disappointing wine. The Contesa 2011 from Gaia absolutely devastated me. One of my first high-end wine purchases, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, 98 out of 100, bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. Anybody would believe that, right? But no, not me. So, do you have a pairing for that, my good sir?
Yeah, this whole time I was just like, man, what are opportunities where like I thought I had it, but I was afraid I was disappointing other people. You know, that aspect of your story. And I was just like, man, let's see. Wow. Guys, the thing that's stuck to my head like dust is the time where I white lied to my friend where he was just like he was like very excitedly talking about like the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I have that PlayStation. And he's just like, you have a PS2? I was like, yeah, I have a PlayStation. It's the PS2. I'm like, yeah, that PlayStation, yeah. And like he was like suspicious, like, why won't you explicitly tell me that you have the PS2? And it's because I was lying. My white lie was that I had two PS1s.
Oh.
One in the bedroom, one in the living room. My brother's bedroom, to be fair, he's the one who bought it. And we walked all the way in my house talking about all the great games that are on PS2. And I was like, oh yeah, those great games. I can't wait to play them. And he's just like, what do you mean? You have a PS2? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, like, I have the I have the PlayStation
2,
but I don't have those games because I bought the PlayStation, so I can't afford the games quite yet. And he's like, okay. And we finally get there. I open the door. He sees the PlayStation 1 and goes like, I'm never believing a word you ever say again.
Oh.
And I was just like,
joke gone Ari.
it's like one of those kid, like preteen, like cringe moments you have as a kid where you're just like, I'm just trying to impress my friends when I don't have the stock to back it up, when I don't have the goosebump to back it up. But we're talking about pairing here, so let's see.
I think that's an apt pairing right there. Because your friend probably trusted you. He's like, yeah, video game. Victor knows about video games. He knows about consoles.
Oh, like the beginning of a sommelier's career. You just gotta kind of fake it till you make it while you're reading the material and tasting more. And
I
more
would
stuff.
say that for sure, but I mean, it's kind of funny how the tables turned eventually. So like now, if I ever have wine with my friends that I take and they say, this isn't your best work, and I'm like, I usually end up saying some snide comment like, the wine only tastes as good as the taster knows how to taste it, you know?
Oh.
So believe me, it's like in the very beginning, I used to be a little bit more self-conscious, like, okay, I have to make sure that the wine I'm presenting is good. Now I'm just like, okay, here are two things that are true. If I get invited to a party, this may sound egotistical, but I don't think I'm being invited. I think I'm being invited to bring booze. That's usually step one. Step two correlates to that. It's like Victor's going to bring booze. Therefore, Victor would probably bring stuff that we're going to like, because Victor knows about wine. For the longest time, I would cater to that idea. And I'd be like, okay, I guess I got to go. Now, the difference is I don't go to these parties anymore. Unless I know the person knows about wine. But two, if for some reason I'm being dragged along, I take a bottle of wine that I like. And I'm like, look, this goes two ways. I brought a goddamn entree, right? I made some fancy dish. I made my contribution. It's your job to buy booze, not mine. And the bottle of booze I'm contributing, I like. And if you don't like it, I know it pairs with my meal because that's what I do. But, you know, how do I phrase this? I kind of stopped giving a fuck. The only times that I care about the wines that I'm presenting are when, one, I know the people that are tasting it know about it, or two, I'm in a position where I can hopefully expand someone's knowledge. That's usually the two predicaments that I'm in. Very rare is the time that now I'm like, I should take this person a nice bottle of wine, you know, because I know this is what they like. No, I think, okay, how high are they up on my friend tier? And then that'll determine the kind of wine you get. Because on that friend tier, that kind of dictates, okay, am I being invited to this party because you actually want me there? Or is it because, you know, this is an easy way to get wine?
Okay. I have a closer pairing now that I think about it. Now, this isn't my doing. This is me going to a friend's place because they can afford at the time.
Ooh, and let me also add this.
Oh, okay.
On the friend tier, a lot of those friends are no longer on my radar. So let's just add that so that my current friends don't get offended thinking like, oh my God, you brought a shitty one at my party. And it's like, no, you just didn't like the wine, but I still like you.
It's very important. That's very important. Okay. So there was a time back when the PlayStation 3, as I may have mentioned to you before, Richard, where it came out at $600 launch price. And that's inflation for 2016 or 2006.
Oh,
So it would probably be equivalent to maybe $800 nowadays. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know.
New tires for that price.
My inflation scaling's bad. I'm learning.
Michelin tires are that right?
I'm learning inflation rates. I don't know why. It's like a weird niche that I'm trying to learn. Anyways. So naturally you go to the friend who obtained it, and you're just like, you know, in your young years, you're just like, oh, you're the rich kid. Oh, you have a PS3. Oh my God. But ultimately, I was just jealous. But also, very nice friend. Let me come over like all the time, like 4 times a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, you know, those are the friends you make, the ones that are willing to hang out all the time. Because, you know, as kids, the only time that isn't homework is just the ability to hang out all the time. That's the other half of your free
either
time.
do homework or not do homework.
And, you know, the bottle in this sense is the PS3. You're just like, wow, we came off the PS1, we came off the PS2. Fantastic consoles in their own right. In their lifetime, sold millions and millions and millions of units, meaning consoles. And meaning that there's no way that Sony is just like, oh, we know what the winning formula is. We can make a third console that's just as good. No, they blew their britches by overdeveloping it to the point where developers who make the games look at it and go like, this is hard. How do we make games for this? The computing is just so complicated that we'd have to do extra work just to make a game basic, let alone a game good.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it happens. And so
I always thought the console was just a vehicle for the game. I never thought, oh shit, the actual vehicle has to, or the game has to cater to the vehicle.
yeah, the correct term is the architecture of the console. You want to cater it to the developer so it's easier for them to design games on it.
Huh.
So-
And the PS3 was not that.
It was the opposite of that. Sony was so scared of people stealing games that they made proprietary hardware and software.
Was this before they were downloadable?
To combat it. This is the age of downloadable. So they made it, this is their way of combating piracy, but it just equals to harder time making games, is that formula. So naturally, my friend, bought it as soon as they could. I went over being just like, this is the wine being served. We're being served the PS2 bottle, or the PS3 bottle, excuse me. And I go over there and it's just like, we can download this rubber ducky game. We hit download. It's the early age of download, so we're waiting, like 2 hours for a 400 megabyte game. 400 megabytes on your phone, on your modern phone, you can download in mere milliseconds. At this age, we're waiting hours, and it's just like,
For a duck game?
cool. Do you have anything that's already installed that we can play? And he's like, no. Oh, wait, I have a game on disc. We put it in. It has to download a patch that's 200 megabytes. So that's less hours, but still hours you have to wait. So we're like,
Wow.
great bottle you brought, Mr. A Name. Great bottle. Fun. Very fun.
So what are you guys doing while you're waiting for this? Is this just awkward silence like, okay.
We went on the opposite side of that house on his computer, and I won't lie, we watched questionable content of human lovemaking while we waited.
As all teenage boys do.
As all teenage boys do, it's natural, it's normal. And
But now looking back at it, you're like, huh, what teenage Victor did.
we just,
Would Nicole be proud?
well, Nicole will never be proud of anything teenage Victor done. Never, not a single thing. All my actions in my teenage years is questionable. But that's what we had to do, just to wait for a fucking video game.
Wow. Gone are the days you watch adult content to make time for video games, I guess.
Usually you play the video game first, and then you look at the adult content about it. In the old days, it was the other way around.
Holy shit.
We're making these jokes because my girlfriend's in the room. Mr. Richter, that is my pairing for your
I think that is an appropriate pairing.
gala.
I think it is. Because my God, are these wines disappointing?
Let me just say, I next time I'll say yes.
Yes, next time you better say yes to those kind of dinners. Because again, not only do you learn so much, but you... Oh, hot mic.
I will say that this gentleman over here gave me an out. He's like, if you want to say no, just say no. And I was just like, but the reason why I was struggling is because I did want to go, but I was just worried about sticking out.
He was making every excuse under the sun, like, but I don't
Every
have clothes to
excuse
wear.
on earth.
And I'm like, you don't have to wear anything fancy. He's like, but I'm going to feel out of place. And I'm like, you're going to be with me. He's like, but I'm not going to have anything to talk about. And I'm like, you literally buy wine for a living, Victor. And he's like, but I don't know anything about it. And I'm like, and that's why I'm going to be there. And he's like, but what if the food isn't, like, I don't know how to eat the food or some shit like that. And I'm like, come on, my guy. Like, and that's when I'm like, Mr. Victor, if you don't want to go, you could just tell me that. And then he's like, and I'm like, Mr. Victor, come on, it's fine. He's like, but, and that's how that conversation went.
I work for a place that does not buy the fanciest stuff. That's all I'll say.
But it does cater to the fanciest of kind.
I just love the wines that are the ones that you recommend. They're just like you don't have to ball out.
Yes,
to have a great night.
Victor is S tier on the wine list as far as what Victor gets to drink.
I carry the wines that Mr. Victor over here goes like, you don't need to ball out to have a good weekend. Okay?
Exactly.
Those are the ones I carry.
Recca's Castle Pinot Noir. Buy that shit for $8. What is it? $7, $5.99 at your local Total Wine.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Boy,
that was a fitting end. I felt like that was a good vent session at the very end.
Fitting end. Thank goodness. I mean, look, our last episodes, we had time constraints. We had a breaking in, as we would say. Over here, I'm saying this is a good time. This is a great length, and I hope you appreciate it.
Yes,
and as I appreciate you, Mr. Victor appreciates you too.
Of course I do.
I'm not going to leave Mr. Victor out. I'm just a little sloshed, and I'm like,
he's in the zone.
All right. Usually, I'm just going to say this. Usually, I'm asking you guys to please, if you appreciate the show, to please tip your bartender, ko-fi.com/course-controller. And usually, I'm telling you guys, please, if you have any feedback or if you work at wonderfully magical places that make the liquids, the pixels, then please go to podcast at speaky.net for collaborations. But here's my real call of action. Please just scroll down slightly on the YouTube, leave a comment. I want to hear from you guys. If you enjoy the show, please tell a friend about it. I want them to know that we exist, and just purely for the sole reason of being more interactive. I love talking to people.
Yes, he does. As do I.
I love talking about games. I love learning about wines and spirits and beers. And I just, the more, we're all just in communication with each other, the more the show gets better because of it. And I truly believe that. So,
an anthology by Victor.
So please, if you just scroll down slightly, hit that comment button, you can literally just say the show sucks. That's I'm serious. That's an indication to me being like, oh, we can do better. And if you have a genuine, an additional,
I was like, if you have a genuine,
and if you have anything more to say about that, being just like, yeah, I love the show. It just feels like it gets like a little slower, or maybe you can talk about the games more. Maybe you can talk about the wine more. Then, of course, yes.
Yes, let us know.
This show is 100%. Let me redo that math. This game is 90% us having fun and learning more about each other's worlds, and like 10% being like, let's bring you guys in, let's learn together, and have a great YouTube channel as a result.
Yes, so, I concur. Right. So that was a sonnet presented by Victor Aparicio of Corks and Controllers. If you appreciate his performance, please leave us a tip.
Yeah.
Mahogany calls for it. I demand it.
Oh, and please tell Octavio what an amazing job he's doing.
Oh my God, yes. Comment all the Bochi memes for him.
In fact, finish your lessons. I'm going to grab something real quick.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, so where do we leave off? We were talking about the Grand Cruise of Burgundy, but now that we're talking about getting sloshed, let us recount the great, I don't know if I would call it a revolution, but the wine growers of the Aube region of Champagne, and Aube is spelled A-U-B-E. So when this whole Grand Cru vineyard thing was going on in Champagne, so specifically between, there is the Montagne des Reims, and then there's the Côte Blanc in Champagne, and then there's also the Valle de la Marne. The Aube falls a little bit south of the Valle de la Marne. So pretty much these people from the Côte Blanc, the Côte Blanc, the Montagne des Reims, and the Valle de la Marne. Oh, he's back.
Sorry about that, Victor. This is my public declaration of appreciation to our editor, Octavio. Also, Berylwave also goes by DJ Bro Shit. I don't know how to pronounce that name. His YouTube channel. But anyways, Mr. Octavio, this is my appreciation to you. You're probably going to get this way before you edit this episode. But Here's your award for editing for us. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Cheers.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, the 2021 Merlots. So Duckhorn is very well known for their Merlots.
That's for you, Mr.
Specifically, their
Octavio.
Three Palms Merlot.
If you need anything from me, Mr. Octavio, I have stuff. I can't give you anything Victor's given me. Those are very precious. Those are the Lord of the Rings. My ring that makes me invisible. My precious. But
Plural.
thank you, Octavio, for editing.
Yes.
Thank you for watching, and that's the show.
That is our show.
All right.
Off we go to go get sloshed.
Bye bye.
Jingle bell.